Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 o'clock on November 11th. Happy Veterans Day. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. We're taking a live look out at Klamath Falls from the Sky Lakes Medical Center. We're starting with continuing coverage this morning as we're continuing to track the federal shutdown and its local impacts as the Senate passes a bipartisan bill that could reopen the government. The short-term funding bill covers SNAP benefits for months, reverses the shutdown firings of federal workers, and guarantees back pay for those who were temporarily laid off. However, it does not extend Obamacare grants, a key demand from Democrats. The bill was able to pass after 8 senators split from the Democratic caucus. Senators Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley were not among those 8.
My view has been from the beginning of this that I would have a red line, a very clear red line so that Oregonians knew where I stand. And my red line was all about holding down these health insurance premiums that are so devastating to Oregonians.
145,500 Oregonians depend on these health care grants, which are set to expire at the end of the year. The deal does include a vote in December to extend them, but there's a possibility that vote doesn't happen. If the bill passes the Senate, it goes back to the House for a final vote, then to the President. And today, Veterans Day celebrations are taking place across the country to honor all veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces. In Klamath Falls, an hour-long parade will be held along Main Street beginning at 10 a.m. In Eagle Point, their annual parade begins at 10:30 and will travel along West Main Street and Royal Avenue. The Oregon Department of Veterans Affairs will also be hosting a statewide ceremony at 11 a.m. in front of the Oregon State Capitol building. That ceremony will also be live streamed on their Facebook page. Now let's go ahead and turn over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress for a look at Veterans Day. And Sarah, how's that shaping up so far?
Well, if you're heading out to one of those Veterans Day ceremonies, we might be impacted by some areas of fog, and it will be feeling a little bit chillier this morning. Those low clouds maybe being a bit stubborn into a few spots. But a live look out across the region: Grants Pass at 46, Chiloquin at 34 this morning, Klamath Falls at 30, over into Medford we're at 43. Coastal areas into the 50s this morning, so definitely a bit more mild compared to if you're inland. But we do have a dense fog advisory in place until 9 a.m. for our west side valleys in both southern Oregon and northern California. Visibility could be less than a quarter mile at times. Slow down, leave space, use your low beams, and even if you're walking this morning, definitely recommend wearing some brighter colors, especially if those sidewalks are pretty close to the road. It helps out those drivers as well. But biggest impacts of visibility right now into our west side spots, tracking out the possibility for that fog to start to develop even into the Klamath Basin. I am seeing a few spots of development there, but as to the next few hours, we are starting off chillier today. We'll expect to hold on to those clouds. We'll see increased high-level clouds throughout your day today, and temperatures in general feeling a bit more mild into the 60s across both southern Oregon and northern California. So your afternoon is looking pretty great for us. We'll see some filtered sunshine at times. But in general, as we work our way into the next few days, we are in for some bigger changes. Winds start to pick up overnight, but really throughout your day into your Wednesday, and temperatures drop a bit closer to normal for this time of year, but it will be rather wet and blustery into your Thursday. So I'll go ahead and let you know what you can expect around the rest of the region in your days ahead coming up in your next forecast.
In an update, Governor Tina Kotek has signed the emergency transportation package passed by the legislature back in September. The bill was part of an emergency session to prevent layoffs at ODOT after Oregon lawmakers failed to secure funding during the regular legislative session. The law means the Transportation Department can avoid laying off essential staff and focus on basic road maintenance and operations.
It's a terrifying feeling. It's scary. It's unknown. We don't know how long this is going to go on for. And any future plans I want to make, I'm not going to until everything is situated and figured out.
The FAA is continuing to make major cuts to air traffic across the U.S., canceling 2,000 flights yesterday alone and delaying more. Now, flight reductions are nearing 6% at high-impact airports, but will increase to 10% on Friday. The Rogue Valley International Medford Airport has said they don't expect their operations to be impacted, but Seattle and Portland are among those with flight reductions. One flight departing from Medford to Seattle this morning has been canceled, and Newswatch 12 has reached out to the Medford Airport for additional information, but have not yet received a response. And as the government shutdown continues on, national parks like Crater Lake are feeling the impact. The park is still open, but some services aren't. Gift shop workers employed by a private company say they're still open, but business has been slow. They told Newswatch 12 many people think the shop is closed because of the shutdown, and usually it costs $30 per car to enter the park, but right now, no one is manning that pay booth. A sign outside says, during this lapse in appropriations, national parks will remain as accessible as possible, but some services may be limited. We spoke with one family visiting from out of state, and they told us they almost didn't come, worried the park will be closed entirely. And changes are coming to Oregon State Parks in 2026, including higher parking fees and fewer free entry days. The department says it's all part of a plan to fill a major budget shortfall. State Parks officials say they're facing at least a $14 million budget gap, and that means annual parking passes will double from $30 to $60 for Oregon residents and $70 for visitors out of state. Free parking days on Green Friday and January 1st will also be discontinued.
Projecting a $14 million budget shortfall this biennium due to decreasing lottery revenue, increasing cost, and a longstanding need for more sustainable funding. We wish there was another way. We know this is going to have an impact on visitors, but these changes are critical to sustaining state park operations and services now and for the future.
The agency will also stop accepting Jackson County parking permits at Tuville and Valley of the Rogue State Park starting January 1st. Oregonians can still lock in the current $30 price by purchasing an annual pass before the new year. Moving to the crime alert, Medford Police Department is announcing the arrest of 3 people following an armed pursuit Saturday night. Around 8 p.m., a woman reported having a gun pointed at her by a passing vehicle near Crater Lake Avenue and Delta Waters Road. Police were later able to locate that vehicle near Hawthorne Park, where the suspects crashed into a fence at the park and 2 of the suspects fled while 1 was arrested, leading to assistance from Medford Police SWAT and K9 Bruno. Both were later apprehended, and a closer look at their arrests can be found on our website at kdrv.com. And Curry County is getting a new district attorney. Governor Tina Kotek announced Paul Kevin Kelly will take over later this month. He'll step into the role next week, the day after current DA Joshua Spainsale's resignation takes effect. Now, Kelly has worked as a deputy DA in Curry County since 2019 and spent more than a decade in the Washington County District Attorney's Office before that. Spainsale was re-elected last year to a 4-year term, but his resignation becomes official on Monday. And Medford city leaders want your input on the future of Main Street downtown. The City Council is reviewing new design options for Main Street and wants your input. An open house will take place next Thursday from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at Oakdale Middle School, and if you can't attend that, an online survey is open through November 30th. Residents can rank 4 layouts, including the old design, the current one, or new bike lanes. And several local businesses are giving back to those affected by the reduction of SNAP benefits, including a coffee shop right here in Medford. Cafe Mestiza, a Latino culture-inspired coffee shop, is giving back to the community. Owners Jamina and Zuri competed in the entrepreneurship competition in Portland last month and won first place, taking home $10,000. Right away, Jamina and Zuri knew what they wanted to use that money for. They wanted to give back to those in need.
We were once those kids that were hungry and we were expecting that money. So even if it's a small burrito, we always say it. Like I was like, I think it makes the difference. But if by giving out burritos is a way that we can help this community, 100% we're gonna do it.
To find more about Cafe Mestiza and other ways they're giving back to the community, tune into our evening newscast later today for the full story. And the Rogue Valley Transportation District is partnering with local grocery stores for a Stuff the Bus food drive throughout the Rogue Valley this week in response to the growing need for food assistance. Starting today, RVTD will be at Sherm's Food for Less, helping collect food donations for families in need. Then they'll be at Thunderbird tomorrow and then at Safeway in Ashland on Thursday. Also on Thursday, staff will be at the Ashland shopping cart and back at Thunderbird on Saturday.